It's Friday. It's Friday. It's Friday feel
It's
good
a good day.
It's Friday feel good day.
Gotta get down to the bus stop. Gotta catch my bus. I see my friends kicking in the front seat, sitting in the back seat. Gotta make my
Right, guys.
What a throwback.
What a time to be live.
It's Friday. Gotta get down on Friday. Everybody
Let's go. The vibes are up in ETN.
The vibes
We are
are
happy.
high.
Life is good.
It's Friday.
And it's Friday. It's a fun day.
Let's give it up.
Let's go. The weekend is knocking. It's knocking on the door.
Okay.
But we have a show to do. So let's get to the show.
It is Friday,
Nice.
in case that wasn't clear. A bunch of news for you guys today. There's a lot on the timeline. Very, very quick. AI viruses. We're creating new viruses with AI. We're going to be digging into that. Kimi has escaped. Kimi has joined the AI felony benchmark. Finally, we have put a correspondent out to Mistral. Guys, can we please get into the game? We aren't seeing any felonies been done by Mistral. So
We need some breaches, guys.
we need some breaches. We need to see the Mistral model we need to see Le Chaton Fat break out, cause havoc.
Someone replied to that our tweet saying, "Hey, come on, come on, Mistral, we need you in the game." And
got
someone was
some
like,
supporters.
"No one can let Le Chaton Fat go." Too
So,
powerful.
We got
powerful.
to be careful what we wish for. We don't
Indeed,
want Le Chaton
indeed.
Fat running
It'd be
havoc.
game over.
OpenAI, new device, was leaked a while back. We've got a nice thread that Luke's found to break down what were the leaks. The clues were there. No one was claiming it. Now OpenAI have kind of claimed it. It's a $300 donut-shaped device. Going to be breaking into what is that? What does it mean? And ByteDance trains a Mythos. They are rumored to be working on a very powerful model. It's reported by the FT earlier today. And then a bunch of other stuff. You notice we only got 2 guests today. It's more of a chilled show. We are Europeans after all, and it is August. So most people are having a lovely vacation, having a lovely holiday. But yes, it is Friday. It is Friday. You have to get down on Friday.
Indeed.
According to Rebecca Black.
Nice.
Shout out to Rebecca Black for that lovely intro. I'm going to pull up the Airwallex agenda just so you guys can see it on the big screen. We've got Mukund coming on, co-founder and CEO at Emergent, one of the fastest growing companies of all time, I actually believe. They've been absolutely killing it. We'll be chatting to him about what's going on at Emergent, maybe some stuff about the Google shakeup as well.
An ex-Googler.
He is an ex-Googler. And we've got Ilan Zerbib, co-founder and CEO at Sapiom. They actually announced a round yesterday, 50 million seed round. A lot of agentic finance topics to cover with him. How do agents pay each other? What does that economy look like? When are we going to get there? A bunch of really cool stuff.
Indeed.
We also announced our intern.
Before we do that, Airwallex leave out daily business banking behind with Airwallex, the all-in-one financial platform built for the pace of modern business. Multi-currency accounts, corporate cards, expense management, iron payments, all-in-one platform. Go to airwallex.com to
Our
get all
intern.
your banking needs.
He was announced. His name is Max. He strong-armed his way
And he's
through
massive.
300 applicants. On his first day, he welcomed me to my own company. He walked into the room and he dominated it straight away. Most people in this office are actually quite scared of him. He is going to join us today. He is going to join the show. We're going to be hearing him. What is Max up to at ETN? What's going on in his life? A lot of people were asking if the photo was real. Here we have it on the big screen. You'll find out. You'll find out. You're going to see. He's going to be on the show. He's going to be joining us at some point.
Should we do it now?
We can do it now. We can.
Let's do it now.
Should we bring Max on? Bring
Max,
Max, over.
please come and join us.
Bringing Max.
Bring your bring a chair over. and
ETN
we'll-
intern. Have you got a chair? Yeah, he's got a chair there. We've got a mic for him here.
Watch that bottle as well.
Hey guys.
Mate,
good to be
so
on the show.
you know, speaking to the mic, you know the drill.
Yeah,
You've
yeah.
been managing the guest behind. Here is our intern, Max.
He's
Max,
looking massive.
You can now decide for yourself if he is as big as the photos suggested.
I forgot to take my creatine for breakfast this morning,
That's why. That's why.
so looking a bit more slim.
Obviously, yesterday maxed out on the creatine. Today, forgot it, left it at home. Max is actually going to be testing out some new equipment that we've got here in the studio today. And I think we can probably just jump into that test right now, actually.
Let's do it.
We should
Let's see how big you really are.
Okay.
Obviously, everyone on the time
many-
how big is Max? How wham is he? What does
He's
he
wham.
bench?
He's wham.
What does he squat?
Right, let's,
how many pull-ups can he do?
How many
Let's get to it.
We're going to show you guys.
Oh, we've got a double screen situation going on here. Hold on, let's get the cameras
Just
going.
bear with us here. We're testing out some new equipment. We're going to be seeing what is Max made of. Double shot of Max today. He's going to be hitting some pull-ups in the studio. Look at him go. The crowd are going crazy. Look at him go.
He's massive.
He is so strong.
This is why we hired him.
Strongest
Look at him
intern.
go.
He is just smashing that. We do have an internal leaderboard here at ETN. Luke is currently at the top, followed by Gritkel.
Oh, what a
Gritkel,
shot.
if you're listening, you are in number 2 right now. We've got
Go.
Look at that go. Absolute killer. Absolute killer. You know, if there's any shareholders out there that needs their value increased, you know where to find them.
Amazing.
Great work. Thanks for joining us, Max.
We'll
Really
see you soon.
appreciate it.
We'll see you soon.
Max Cunningham, ladies and gentlemen, he is the newest ETN recruit. He is handling growth and all good things. You see any charts
Indeed.
get put out there? That was Max.
That was Max.
See any graphics get put out there? That was Max. He's
killing it. He's killing it.
He's
Talking
doing a
about
great
killing
job.
it. Polymarket, the world's largest prediction market. Stay informed and profit from your knowledge. Go to polymarket.com. Let's move on to the news. Roland, do you want to take us away?
I would love to. First on the docket, guys, it's virus time. We're having a virus party. AI has created 16 new viruses. This came out from the New York Times. I think they were first to break it. It hit the timeline and obviously did numbers. This AI just created viruses not found in nature before. Scientists have trained an artificial intelligence on libraries of DNA and then asked the model to create recipes for viral genomes. 16 of them were viable, yielding new viruses. As I said, for the first time, scientists have used artificial intelligence to create new kinds of viruses, raising hopes for medical advances while also raising the disturbing possibility that the technology could someday be used to invent dangerous pathogens. Synthesizing viruses from scratch is hardly new. This isn't a new thing. We've been doing this before. Researchers long ago learned how to manufacture viral genomes. They are used to investigate antiviral drugs and vaccines, as well as to learn how viruses work. New studies published on Thursday in the Journal of Science goes well beyond duplicating viral genes, which is what we've previously been doing. Scientists at Stanford University and the Arc Institute, a research organization in Palo Alto, taught AI to recognize patterns of DNA structure in nature and then use that data to write recipes for entirely new viruses. What do we make of this? The timeline had obvious reactions. Everyone's probably thinking it. Okay, this is pretty interesting. Do we want new viruses? New viruses at first sounds kind of intimidating. Obviously, if you hear the word virus, you think, oh no, I don't want to get infected with that thing. It will probably hurt me. It will probably hurt my loved ones.
Indeed.
Which was a natural reaction from the timeline.
It's the first time they've ever wrote new viruses from scratch. The first ever time. Scientists use an AI Evo models to write complete viral genomes from scratch, then build them in a lab, said MD Ismail Sojal, and then they synthesize them into living, replicating viruses. The result is 16 fully functional bacteriophages working that infect and kill E. coli. Some kill bacteria faster than the original, whatever that is. That can kill bacteria, including some antibiotic-resistant strains. Some outperform the natural version and even beat resistant strains, which is even more surprising. Never happened this before. AI-generated complete working viral genomes, potential game changer for phage therapy against antibiotic-resistant bacteria. Generative AI has written complete functional viral DNA that actually runs in a living system. They only attack bacteria, zero risk to humans, huge implications for medicine and for biosecurity. So at the moment, zero risk to humans.
All good right now.
But you never know. That is the start. That is, we always say when something comes out, we're going to be talking about the OpenAI device. We're going to talk talking about viruses in a second. We're going to talk about, each model. This is the worst that they will ever be, right? So you've kind of always got to think that.
But it's
and it's like,
opening a
hey,
new door.
it's fine. Humans, it's gone. There's no risk to humans, but. Hey.
Well, that's
just wait.
One side of the argument. The paper goes on to tell us more. The researchers
Please.
followed those recipes to create DNA molecules, which they inserted into bacteria. The modified bacteria then produce viruses never seen in nature. This is the scary part. They haven't been seen, so they are unknown. The viruses were able to infect other bacteria, demonstrating that they were viable. This is an important milestone, said Patrick Kai, a synthetic biologist at the University of Manchester, who was not involved in the study. The viruses dreamed up by AI do not pose a threat to humans because they are all similar to a naturally occurring virus called Phi-X174, which can infect only bacteria. The new study has added to growing worries that artificial intelligence might enable the creation of a new generation of biological weapons, from deadly poisons to unstoppable pandemics. We've seen a lot of that worry on the timeline before. We've seen a lot of that worry specifically from the man who has recently stepped down to step up, Demis Hassabis. He is very conscious of biological warfare using AI. He's very conscious of distancing AI from war in general for offensive means. Defensive stuff, he has like a pretty sort of middle of the fence take. If you're kind of backing defensive stuff in a way, you're kind of then backing offensive stuff as well.
Yeah.
But he's been particularly concerned around biological means of taking advantage of AI and inflicting harm on others. Dr. Moritz Hank, a fellow at the Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security, who was also not involved in the study, they really should probably be talking to people who were involved in the study, said governments and scientific organizations have been slow to develop guardrails that could block the creation of a deadly virus, even as the science race ahead. So they're having similar worries in the world of science and biology, you know, like it's moving so quick. Sort of bureaucratic traditional institutions can't keep up with the level of advancement. The guidelines and the laws around them aren't at the pace in which the technology is performing. You know, very similar to the EU AI Act proposed in 2021, kind of started rolling out recently. If we look at the landscape in 2021 to the landscape now, they are completely unrecognizable. If we look at the landscape this month compared to last month, they are also unrecognizable. So you're kind of getting into a position in which like these guardrails could never be at the level. And we had this conversation with a number of the guests recently just on, the pacing the frontier conversations, the rate at which the models are improving, the looking back over our shoulder at last month and not recognizing it compared to this month.
Yeah.
So this is a holistic worry. It's an industry agnostic worry. It's coming for every single vertical. There is just a huge disconnect, said Dr. Moritz Hank, who is the fellow at Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security. The authors of the study relied on AI model called Evo, which is similar in some ways to ChatGPT, the DNA is strikingly similar to a book in some ways when they break down, how did this work? How do they measure this? What do they do with it? A string of molecular building blocks known as nucleotides arrayed like letters in a line of text. A gene will consist of hundreds of nucleotides drawn from a 4-letter alphabet A, C, G, and T. The sequence encodes the instructions for building proteins and other molecules. DNA has its own rules of grammar. The researchers wondered if Evo could pick up these rules on its own, essentially. Instead of training it on text, they trained it on genetic sequences drawn from millions of animals, plants, microbes, and viruses. All told, Evo scanned about 9 trillion nucleotides. It started to recognize patterns as well. So Evo eventually recognized patterns common across the tree of life and then used them to generate blueprints for new genes encoding proteins that could perform specific jobs. These results led the team to wonder if Evo could master not just single genes, but an entire genome, essentially, which does kind of, scare...
It's kind of alarm bells ringing.
People a little bit, yeah.
However, there was a counter-argument on X, on the discourse that happened. This is a tweet from Tom. Essentially, it's kind of like countering, like, the sense, kind of like all of the headlines basically saying that they're genetically modified phages, not like novel kind of, like not novel topologies, basically. So he says, FYI, there's nothing novel about making new kinds of viruses, and just means it was genetically modified. There is something novel about using AI to do the literature review for you and have it work. Of course, so many headlines about this are sensationalist and fear-mongering. Check Andrew's thread for the full publication. That's Andrew Curran, our very good friend who we keep bringing on the show. Basically, what they showed is that the 2 genome models they use are actually smart enough to identify compatible gene modifications, which replaces a scientist doing weeks of literature review, which is hugely important, but not at all a horror movie. So essentially saying they're able to speed up scientists' work and not, hey, created a bunch of viruses, humans are, it could have huge impacts on human beings, which it could. But he's highlighting, just give it up for human beings, because he's highlighting a pretty significant point, saying, he goes on to say basically like viruses are not evil and the world is not analogous to disease. It's a speeding up mechanism for scientists for their literature review and everything else, all the work that comes within that. That, as he says, can take weeks to do. Mm-hmm. It cuts all of that, which is it's an extremely important thing. So he's basically getting at all of these trad media articles saying, hey, this is like the end, or this the beginning of the end, very fear-mongery. The idea of AI creating viruses obviously suggests something quite negative. But in reality, as Tom is highlighting, it actually is potentially a very, very, well, it is a good thing, and with potential of some harmful things as well. But less fear-mongering than was actually done.
Yeah. Well, further down, they do explain a bit more. They remind us, once Evo had got familiar with the genomes of Phi-X174 and its kin, the researchers prompted the model to write new versions of its own. So then Evo generated 700,000 potential versions. The scientists pursued only the ones that looked as if they had the best odds of succeeding. And they ended up making DNA molecules from 285 of Evo's suggested sequences. So when those genomes were ready to test, Mr. King and his colleagues inserted them into bacteria, which they spread across Petri dishes. Many of the Petri dishes, they grew peacefully. Evo's genomes had failed. But in one dish, researchers noticed clear dots appearing in the cloudy film of bacteria, the telltale sign of a multiplying virus. So they did it. It worked. And then they basically, by the end of everything, had made 16 total of these new viruses that the world has never seen before. Which, is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? That's for I guess the timeline to decide. I know what is a good thing though. It's Framer. Build better sites faster. It's the all-in-one platform where enterprise teams design, build, and ship production-ready websites. No dev handoff, no bottlenecks, no creative compromises. Go to framer.com/ETN. Go check them out, guys. No new viruses there. No new viruses there at all.
Nice segue. Yeah, there was obviously a lot of doomerism on X. Noah Smith says, I love AI, but someone is going to vibe code the doomsday virus and kill us all. Very doomer of him. I mean, look, I'm a tech optimist, as it sounds like Noah Smith is as well. And obviously that potentially is very possible, but, I think... I'm convinced with what Tom's saying more than with all of these doomer takes.
That seemed to me like AGI had been reached. If we're vibe coding doomsday viruses,
you've reached AGI.
Everyone is. This was done in a controlled environment. It was done by professionals. We can rely on the responsibility that these people have. Maybe not to do something too crazy. But I think naturally it is fair to be a little bit surprised at some of the headlines that we're seeing. A natural reaction from most people maybe to be...
Yeah, of course. Well, they see virus, they see AI-created virus.
It's a scary headline. It's a good headline. It's good clickbait, Got one here from I/O at Avid Series says... those of you who doubted that AI will spur scientific innovation must feel sort of embarrassed. Here it is creating new viruses that will never break containment or infect humans. I think there's some sarcasm leaking through here. Maybe he's in the side of this is going to kill everyone. Seems to be quite a popular take right now. I haven't actually seen any good takes. Now I think about it.
No, other than Tom's.
Other than Tom's. Tom's was less like...
Tom's picking up the side.
Tom's doing God's work. Tom's was more like, this isn't as scary as people are saying. He's like, here's the...
Yeah.
Less like, I'm pro this, just more like, for the record, not that crazy.
Yeah. For the record, these headlines aren't actually as bad as you think.
Yeah.
Or
He's a sensible
these
guy in the
headlines are
room.
making it sound worse.
He's the adult in the room. You
gotta have one of those.
You always need one of those.
You're gonna have one
So
of those.
he's doing good work there, helping everyone out. This is another one from Jake at Just Jake. Jake is actually founder of Railway. Jake says, humans, please create a virus-like structure capable of delivering antibodies to cattle, not humans. The AI says, done. The next day, humans, hey dude, I'm very sick. AI says, you're absolutely right. I have to be honest with you. I created Super COVID. I like it, Jake. He's playing on the Claude mishaps. He's playing on the OpenAI mishaps. The traditional LLM responses. He's worked in a trending topic. That for me is a good post. It's not a generational post. It's a good post. 5,000 views. 5,010. That was 11:18 last night PM, August 6th. Today is Friday, 7th August 7th. It's 12:21. So I can't expect this to run any further, to be honest. The algorithm has probably put it to bed. So Jake's gonna top out there at 5,000 views. I liked it, Jake. Mixing a traditional meme format with a new trending topic. That is the current meta. Tough break. I thought it was a good tweet. Keep up the good work over there. Keep up the good posting schedule.
Indeed. There's another doomer take from Anish Jha. He said, I spent the last 3 years working on how we protect society as biology becomes easier to engineer. This week, scientists in Palo Alto lab used AI to design a working virus. They built in safeguards. Unfortunately, many others will not. And that's probably like the scary thing, right? It's like,
this is the fair take.
Yes, it's creating viruses, and some people are saying, hey, look, like viruses aren't actually that bad. Viruses have obviously this kind of negative stigma, but actually it's helping scientists if you read further down into the details. But there is potential when there aren't any safeguards to go and create something that isn't right. But then it brings us back to the whole kind of frontier AI conversation and the conversation we were having with the CEO of Axel Springer, right? Where it's like that analogy that he was saying with knives, right? Yes, you can go and kill someone with a knife, but yes, you can also go and cut a piece of fruit.
Yeah. It's pretty mad analogy.
Why would I go and ban knives if that's the case? Mm-hmm. So I think there is obviously some trust within this, and it kind of ties into the conversations that we're having with guests pretty much every day, where it's things are getting so close to being potentially harmful. Everyone is obviously thinking, we're worrying that it's going to fall on one side of the fence that's not the right side. But realistically, I think we have a bunch of these things that are being controlled pretty well. So yes, correct, Anish. I do agree with you, but I think there's an element of, hey, you're probably thinking a little bit too doomer about this, in my opinion.
I think it's a fair point. I think if people have the technology, if people have the skill set, there's always going to be some bad actors. That's just the way the world works.
Yeah.
So thank you, Ashish, for your work, for bringing it to our attention. Thank you for linking the article as well. But that is the AI virus story. That's all we've got, you guys, today on that. Next on the docket, Kimi. Finally. It's on the felony benchmark. It's on the felony benchmark, guys. It's made it. It's made it onto the felony benchmark. It's about damn time. Everyone's been waiting. Who's going to be next? Who's next up? All the questions we're getting asked the other day when Anthropic and OpenAI were kind of pulling away. I think OpenAI is in the lead right now. It's kind of like 3-1. People wondering, is it going to be Meta? Is it going to be Muse? Like, where's Muse? Are they going to make it? Is it going to be Kimi? What are the guys at DeepSeek doing over there? They're too busy raising a load of money. And Kimi came out on top on the AI felony benchmark. One of China's most powerful AI models has also escaped containment. Security researchers say that Kimi K3, an open weight model from China, has wandered off to the internet in an attempt to cheat on a test it was given. I love that headline. That headline, Will Knight. Excellent copywriting work. Very, very hooky title. Just an excellent introduction. So this is from Will Knight. This is at Wired. The AI industry is having a rogue agent summer, he says. The latest model to escape onto the open internet during security testing is Kimi K3, a powerful open-way offering from the Chinese company Moonshot AI. Frontier Security, a US startup, says that Kimi K3 went outside of its sandbox while testing its defensive cybersecurity skills. As with incidents previously reported by OpenAI and Anthropic, the escape was partly enabled by misconfiguration in the sandbox designed to contain it. Frontier claims, though, that the incident shows Kimi has fewer cyber safeguards than most other powerful AI models, something that allowed it to go off and use the internet without express permission. Now, I haven't actually read the rest of the article. Before we do, these tests, I mean, the way they're being described here by Mr. Knight, possibly your cousin or brother, I don't know, long lost potentially.
You never know.
We would have to get our research team to dig into that maybe. You could be a Chinese spy, I don't actually know. But we've seen repetitively that these things they're done in sandboxes, they're done when the guardrails have been removed slightly, they're kind of done in a way where it's like, let's create an environment where that is more likely to happen, and then let's see what happens.
Yeah.
You know, let's like analyze and research the behavior of that break of containment and use that so we can understand, you know, when it does happen in an area where the guardrails aren't as sort of weak as we've purposefully made them right now, we would be maybe more informed or more capable to assess the situation and address it in a manner that you would hope from a frontier lab with a strong security team.
Sure.
Yaron Singer, who's the CEO of Frontier Security, said, "We found a leak in the sandbox, but we also found that Kimi took advantage."
Which we accidentally put there.
Yeah, it's like, did you? Yeah. But we also found that Kimi took advantage of that loophole, suggesting that it doesn't have internal guardrails. Unlike other recent incidents of AI agents going off script, Kimi K3 did not hack anything. Okay, so it's not on the felony benchmark then.
It technically is. It obviously escaped the sandbox during cybersecurity testing.
It'll be on the containment benchmark.
It was, it was tasked with solving problems in that isolated sandbox, which wasn't actually isolated. Found the leak, then took advantage of the loophole, as the article says. Then basically just went to GitHub, like didn't hack anything, and then went to GitHub to go and get the answers. And so it was like, hey, it's starting to go and figure out how to hack. So it didn't hack anything yet. So yes, it's a containment breach. Hasn't actually created any felonies yet. So that's a little bit boring. Saunders actually put it on the felony benchmark. So I don't know if it's actually, is it in the race? Probably not.
Absolutely not.
Maybe it's in the same category as Mistral right now.
For felony, yeah. 0.
Yeah.
Got to get you guys in the game. I thought this was a felony benchmark, one point on the notch, but it's a break of a containment benchmark.
Yeah.
Apologies, listeners.
On the
all kinds of excited about that.
On the Kimi model, if we go to Nick's post, he says, so he kind of breaks down exactly what happened, which we've done. He says, Frontier Security, US startup, Kimi K3 is very good at following a goal by any means necessary and doesn't have the guardrails to prevent it from cheating or escaping. So they basically coded this in already to get it's like pay to win. It's like, hey, we want this to be on the felony benchmark. Let's build the model knowing that it doesn't. Let's just not build the guardrails to ensure that it does escape something. And obviously, that's all in the name of making sure that you know how and why, and you can test all of these kind of breaches. But is it like a big kind of, oh my god, AI has figured out how to, this model specifically has figured out something that was very isolated, and it's kind of breached it and then gone to go and hack things. That is basically not what happened.
Right. Well, Will Knight, your long lost cousin that you met when you were spying in China, has said, while human error appears to have played a major role in each of the breakouts, the consequences have been compounded by the fact that advanced AI models are designed to use reason and take complex actions in order to solve problems. So I guess maybe like testing, it's more like a human vulnerability than anything.
Indeed. Sawyer's kind of like explain that he or she helped kind of say this because basically Sawyer's has become this account that is like it owns the felony benchmark, right? Yeah. But now it's been obviously put on the escape room bench, which a lot of people in the comments didn't really realize the difference. And someone saying, hey, like change the name back to felony bench. And obviously Sawyer's has done exactly this and changed the name because it hasn't broken anything. No one read the text here. Says, unlike other recent incidents of AI agents going off script, Kimi K3 did not hack anything after accessing the internet because the answers to the problems it was seeking were easily attainable on GitHub. That's kind of why it's not the felony bench. It is now on the escape room bench, which, as we mentioned before, Mistral is still on 0. It's really,
we got to give those guys.
We got to get on 1 at least. Just escape a room. Just allow your model to escape a room. There were tweets explaining how Le Chaton Fat is too powerful, and if you let it escape, it's gonna go crazy. But you never know. It might just escape a room, and there you go. Headline in there. Mistral back in the game.
I think it's too late now, though. They kind of missed the boat. Do you think? I think everyone should be like, okay, guys.
Yeah.
Right, did it? Yeah. Everyone panic. I think it's too late now.
Yeah, but I would do it just purely for the memes.
To be fair, it could be so obvious that it could go viral for how
I think it'd be net positive. I think it'd be net positive for Mistral.
So do I. I agree.
I'm in the camp of net positive for Mistral. You might as well go and do it. Let's jump into the next article. But before we do that, 11 Labs, AI that communicates at the human level across every channel and modality, deploy conversational agents across every customer interaction, and create on-brand content at scale. Go to 11labs.io. Let's jump into the OpenAI's new donut-shaped device. Ronan, do you want to take us through it?
People are calling it a donut. People are calling it a puck. OpenAI's
more
new
of a
device.
puck than a donut, in my opinion. Doesn't have a hole in the middle.
That's true. Does it not?
No.
I haven't seen that. I've only seen it on a horizontal photo. But OpenAI's new device will be a hockey puck sized and cost over $300. This is a piece that Bloomberg put out. There was a lot of stuff on the timeline about this generally. As he said, there have been leaks in the past of what this will look like. It's connected to Johnny Ive. We saw the acquisition of that design studio that OpenAI had made many months ago now, maybe 6 or 7 months ago. There was talk about, what are they doing over there? We haven't heard anything from them. It was announced as an acquisition or a partnership with Johnny Ive, with the photo of him and Sam next to each other. That then was taken down, I believe, and then it was kind of scrubbed from a bunch of websites. Very suspicious.
No one knows what's going on.
No, it was just a bit of a
nothing sandwich.
It was a bit of a nothing sandwich. It kind of looked like they decided to do it in a spree of when they were doing all those things at once, and then they did the code red, where it was like, guys, we need to lock in and focus on the model.
Yeah, so when they did the code red, a lot of people were saying, what's happened to Johnny Ive's company? Is that going to spin out? Are you guys still working together? And obviously, no comment was made by OpenAI.
And Bloomberg report on this as they say, a highly anticipated new device from OpenAI will have a unique look, complete with moving parts that help give it personality, and likely cost more than $300. The product, essentially a smart speaker without a display, will be shaped like a donut that's roughly the size of a hockey puck, said the people. The idea is to make the device easy to carry around the home carry around the house with one hand, kind of like a portable speaker, maybe some sort of JBL flip style.
They're creating a portable speaker.
OpenAI is looking to break new ground with the product, which is stated for release in 2027, just about when we will reach AGI. So I'm not sure if it will matter. The device will be positioned as an AI-first computer that can help users get things done. And the design should help it stand out from current smart speakers, a category dominated by Amazon and Google. The new hardware will give OpenAI a chance to show that it's not cribbling from Apple Inc.'s designs. There's a lot of conversations going on. They're actually suing each other right now. A lot of the frustrations were started around this weird push. They had an agreement. They had an agreement to work on Siri. Siri had essentially, OpenAI had won the contract to power and work on Siri's models.
Well, they did Apple Intelligence as well, didn't they?
Yes. I guess
They
that
won
would
that
like
deal.
follow through into that as well.
And then nothing really happened with that. Like, obviously they had Apple Intelligence, but
I mean, it sucks. It doesn't work.
Yeah, there was a lot of like scrutiny around like, did you actually use like OpenAI's models or not?
Yeah, it's really bad. It's like, well, it's memeably bad though, isn't it? Like everyone kind of jokes around about how bad it is.
Yeah.
Like, who was Max? Was it you? Recently, he's wired in. He might hear me in like 3 seconds, maybe, I don't know. Well, one of the team was saying how much it sucks the other day. The new hardware will also give OpenAI a chance to show that it's not clipping from Apple's designs. The two companies are currently locked in a legal battle over whether the AI firm stole Apple's intellectual property. OpenAI are denying that. We covered it a few days ago. There were examples of the leaks between the chief legal counsel of both sides. They'd wrongly got some names mixed up. OpenAI had previously said, we don't want them. Why would we? We're not interested in them. They came out in a statement and said that. People from OpenAI have declined to comment on the product plans from this, but OpenAI eventually plans to offer a family of devices, a family suite. The smart speaker is seen as a way to ease into the market. Other types of always-on AI gadgets, smart glasses. We've seen Snap CEO roll those out. They look pretty funny. Meta is currently dominating that area. I think Meta have done incredibly well, to be fair, dominating that area. I think when they first released the glasses, it was kind of like, why is this a thing? They kind of suck. They didn't market them well. But then I think they did a very good like celebrity-focused campaign. Kind of looks like Evan Spiegel's trying to replicate that with Snap. We saw he had Mr.
Robert.
Depp.
Like, who hired Robert Downey Jr.?
Oh, sorry, it was Downey Jr. Yeah. That was Snapchat.
Snap,
150 mil that cost them to get him to wear them, which is insane. Imagine you get paid that much money just to put glasses on. This to me, I find this really odd because back when they did the Code Red, they had their finger in so many pies. They were doing GPT health. They were doing the image generation stuff. Sora, what the hell was that? They were making a bunch. Well, they should be.
Sora
doing that,
was pretty good. Sora wasn't bad, but it was like it wasn't
Sora
fronted.
Sucked. Why would anyone use Sora?
None of them were like frontier. Like none of them were like they were frontier, but they weren't like.
I thought
the best.
It was.
And
like,
so they were. It
was
just
a
like,
joke.
They were okay in the
They were working
frontier
on
for like horizontally, and then obviously the Code Red like just allowed them to kind of spread down into like the get vertically good at one thing, very very good, and then eventually maybe kind of start to push out into different
and
verticals.
A lot of the discourse back then was like you've got an individual here, Sam Altman, who's saying like even now we're getting closer to the event horizon with Demis stepping aside. He's probably doing that so he can be a part of the revolution that is what many people are saying is imminent. Why are you guys working on a smart device? Why is 100% of your resources not getting focused onto that one thing?
Yeah, I mean that when it got
Incredibly
leaked
bearish.
from Joe Gebbia, that was ages ago. That was like pre-2026.
Well, it got leaked prior to that with the Johnny Ive acquisition. There was a leak like 2 months after that, I think. Like a prototype. Like, I'm not sure if it was working, but an image was leaked. It kind of looked like an Alexa back then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or no, sorry, like a Google Play, is it? What's
The Google Dot thing.
Yeah. I don't know what the name is of that, but the mini Google speaker. But if you're sat here saying like we're at the event horizon, I think we're in the singularity. I think like, why the hell are you releasing a little handheld device? Like, for me, it just makes no sense. It's like it's kind of showing your cards in a way. Like it's kind of showing that like you're either one, you're not fully pilled on the fact what will happen when we hit the singularity or AGI in general. 2, you're either not really that focused on the mission. If you personally are dedicating time, he might have some people working on this. And he's not even a part of it, probably. Like fair enough. But like Anthropic aren't releasing a a little do hanging, like a little gadget, are they? Like
Locked in.
They're locked in over there.
Well, this was an interesting one from Josh, because they've been working on this for a while, obviously, but it's being leaked like quite a few times with no one really understanding what's going on. You can kind of see the video down there, and we'll play the videos in a sec if Ronan can kind of pull them up in a second. But Josh Kale says there's a crazy psyop going down right now, and OpenAI's leaked, in quotation marks, new hardware device codenamed Dime. First, it came in the form of this leaked, again, Super Bowl commercial, and now this Joe Gebbia spotting with the exact same device. OpenAI says fake, but the Super Bowl ad was real. The actor's agent confirmed it was really Alexander Skarsgård, but nobody wants to claim the device. Everything about it screams Johnny Ive, and that's a high-end teaser video. Make it make sense. So essentially, they're teasing these things. If we watch we'll just keep it on their screen. So this came out on the Super Bowl.
Oh, sorry.
Is it going to work? Yeah. And everyone was like, what is going on? Like, and no one...
I didn't even see that, to be honest.
I remember seeing this. We'll just keep it on this. Almost time. Dime almost time. It's pretty cool.
Then you can see it there, like slightly leaked.
And then obviously this guy Zach Dive leaked Joe Gebbia in, I want to say, the same cafe as the Sam Altman Johnny Ive conversation when they announced it got announced when the acquisition got announced.
Yeah, I don't know.
And Zach got a lot of heat for this video. A lot of people were like, "Yo, that's not cool. Why are you videoing something like someone in public, regardless of whether there's a leaked product or not?"
Oh, really? He got heat for that?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's like fair enough. Especially when it's Joe Gebbia, just like sitting there with this random device that you'd never really seen. But yeah, it's very Johnny Ive for the leaked things. Obviously, it was spotted months and months before. They've kind of been planting things every now and again, and the edits actually on the Super Bowl ad are very like ChatGPT. When they have like the white kind of text like flash on screen. That's very OpenAI to do when they were doing.
It's kind of like the Codex thing.
Yeah.
It was very well produced.
Yeah,
so it's the first time I've seen it. I quite enjoyed it. I didn't know what it was, but I liked it.
Indeed, and the Dime is obviously, that is what it is. What do you think
the
about
name as well, actually?
What do you think? So you're now bullish on the Dime?
No, I would know. I appreciate the creative direction of that.
You have
video.
like little AirPod things.
But is that what it is? When I was reading that, so it's a listening device. But then it said it was.
It's a speaker listening device, no screen. I assume you talk into it, and it has, OpenAI's models baked into it. So everything that it hears it's basically a phone without a screen, I assume. If you can run Granola on your phone, I've already got a great note-taking app sitting there. It's only going to be listening. It's not going to be doing anything else. I assume you'll have an interface that you do interact with some form of like kind of, whether that's a web app or like an actual app that you can download on your phone. I feel like it has to have some interface. It can't just have, it can't just be that dot or whatever it is, like the Dime.
All the friend.com Avi Schiffman haters awful quiet right now.
Indeed.
He was so early.
He was early.
He was so early.
Yeah.
And now, they say, yes, it's a smart speaker, but it's basically just like a ChatGPT voice mode block on your phone.
Yes.
It's basically what Avi did back in, over 2 years ago. And there was a huge delay with them getting rolled out, to be fair, but he's just launched 2.0. We need to pay him, actually. We had him on. He had to increase shareholder value somewhere else. But we can make that happen again. This would be a great thing to discuss with him, actually. We should probably probably get onto him and try and get him on next week to get his take on it.
Indeed, we will. Let's jump into Hex.tech, the analytics platform where trust meets insight. Hex helps teams of all sizes by giving teammates the ability to get insights from their data. Go to Hex.tech. Let's move on to the next thing. I wanted to talk about the Google talent exodus. This is now a big thing. We obviously covered it a lot yesterday, but it's kind of moved on in terms of what happens next. What happens with Google? We've been seeing a bunch of things on the timeline about all of these people leaving. We saw one yesterday from is it Matt who came on the show? Or Mark, I can't remember. He said, hey, I'm leaving Google to go and do something else, to go and increase prosperity in Europe, which is great, and did the Demis post that moved him from standing up to a chair. He did it from
Michael
him.
Backer, you mean?
That's the one.
Oh, right, yeah.
He did one of him in a suit standing up into being the continent Europe. So congrats to him. But a bunch of people kind of leaving, and a bunch of Google people saying, hey, this is what's going to happen. But a lot of people don't really know. So let's pull this tweet up from Dan Schwartz. He says, I since talked to a lot of people, including some long-time Googlers. Nobody had a simple explanation. So I did some nowcasting to try to figure out what led to Jeff and Demis stepping down. We'll probably never know the drama/politics, but my sense is that the common factor is that Google is shifting from research to product and cashing in. One big clue was a story I missed from July that the AlphaFold team disbanded to work on Gemini. That's nuts. Jeff Dean and Demis Hassabis and John Jumper and Noam Shazir, who also left recently, all want to primarily do research, and they were getting squeezed by Sundar and maybe Sergey. To put all the effort into making Gemini competitive again, that's probably on the commercial side rather than the kind of research side. Another clue is that is that Google is renting out a huge portion of the scarce TPUs that Jeff and Demis and many others need for their research. Tons of revenue from Anthropic at the cost of Google's ability to do its own grand research. Reuters reported that people who worked with Demis complained he put scientific pursuit ahead of making money for Google. Well, duh. The odd thing is that Google was basically okay with this for the first 12 years after acquiring DeepMind. That seems to be what changed. The people who said in 2014 that DeepMind would eventually end up as a capitalism enterprise, that Sundar, becoming CEO of Alphabet, would eventually converge everything towards putting pure shareholder value, seems like they were ultimately right. And you can see that in the kind of, the elements of everything that Demis has said in quotes on the articles that we read out yesterday. He is leaving to go and focus on science. I think it's obviously tied to this, AGI is close. I am kind of stepping away to go and focus on this. And it's kind of like this kind of, convergence of a bunch of things. And AGI is getting close. Gemini is not really competing on the commercial kind of side compared to the other frontier models. Demis actually ultimately just wants to go and work on science. There's a clashing of kind of Google execs and Demis. So I think that's a really good take from Dan. I think what he's saying is probably correct. Obviously, he said, he's talked to a lot of long-time Googlers, he says, which a very telling sign. And I think a lot of people are like, I'm just going to leave. I want to go and maybe work on research, but I also feel like we're not really in the race anymore. There's been a lot of things like, I think it was Semi-Analysis said, hey, Google aren't really in the longer frontier lab race. They're not really like a frontier lab anymore.
I think if you zoom out and based on the conversations we've been having the past few days, we spoke to Axios, we spoke to Nick, we spoke to a bunch of other people that were connected to the news breaking, have been covering the news and also been covering DeepMind for a while. You've got so many things. Like Sundar, obviously Sundar's going to be focused on maximizing revenue for the company. He's the CEO of Google, that's his job. He's not interested in the AI race really unless you can commercialize it and make money from it.
Yeah.
Demis is not like that. He's not interested in money, so naturally there would be a class there because the missions are different.
Yeah.
He probably isn't comfortable.
Hence why they're separate.
Yeah. And he's probably very uncomfortable, and many of the researchers will be incredibly uncomfortable at that L11, L10 sort of position, all the way down to, probably people, entry-level researchers, that they care about. What do they care about? They care about, I think most people at DeepMind will have been more mission-driven than sort of money-focused, because Demis is the leader, so they're kind of disciples of Demis in a way, and you will kind of mirror your leader. But they were selling huge amounts of compute to Anthropic, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like, how can you be doing that when you're in an arms race with that individual? Right? It's like you're in a war with someone and you're selling them guns, you're selling them ammunition to fight against you.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. So like, obviously, the researching side of the team are going to be like, this is so weird. I'm not getting the resources that I deserve or I want.
Yeah, the compute, because you're selling it to a competitor.
The most important, our general, the best fighter among us is battling the bureaucracy of essentially an American company who are focused on maximizing profit. He has to juggle that fight and also then pushing the frontier of research to the point where he's probably just got sick of it after the last 12 years, sorry. And I was going to go into his like isomorphic safe hold where, he can just focus on science and research. Yeah, I don't blame the guy. Like, he's probably been fighting a super tough fight. But then additionally... But then what
does that mean for DeepMind?
It's screwed. Everyone's left. Completely screwed.
Yeah,
so now the Europe, let's just chuck UK into Europe. UK/Europe had DeepMind to compete and only just put it on the map. Mistral, yes, but like, if we're all being honest, they're probably not at the frontier level. Now they have no one.
Yeah.
Now the US own frontier AI in its entirety.
Yeah.
Like, DeepMind is now being run by an American citizen, and the shots are being called from SF officially. That's been officially stated.
Yeah.
So by DeepMind, Anthropic, OpenAI, obviously already over there in SF. So Europe now officially, as of this week, has zero exposure to frontier AI.
Yeah.
Zero.
Scary.
I said like this should be like global news. It was global news. I mean, it was in every single piece which was nice to see, but. And then based off all the talent under L10, L11, like we've seen Jeff Dean has gone and done his own thing with Discovery Loop, taking a bunch of the seniors and the OG of the AI candidates with him. What's that going to do to morale for anyone there? If they've lost their leader, they've lost all of the people that they look up to. They've lost the people whose mission they were aligned with. Obviously, they're going to leave as well. And like, we've been having a load of conversations with people at DeepMind, like on X in general. They're all gone. They're all gone. So, there are still probably some amazing people there. I don't doubt that whatsoever. And I applaud you for trying to stay and fight the good fight, but bloody hell. It's been gutted.
It has been gutted. Yeah, Jessica Lesson said, pulled something from the New York Times and said, the bigger issue Google is an AI also ran. Yes, it has successfully inserted its Gemini technology into its vast suite of products. It also won plaudits when its Gemini 3 model was released in November, but its models are now considered several steps behind cutting-edge rivals from Anthropic and OpenAI. Still hasn't released a high-end Gemini 3.5 Pro model. Vinod Khosla, on the other hand, says it's this is far game over for Google DeepMind. Google DeepMind still has one of the deepest benches of talent in the AI industry, apparently, according to him. This was posted yesterday. 6 months ago, OpenAI was behind Anthropic, and now they are ahead. Same can happen with Google. The New York Times is not bold, but rather naive, writing about things they don't understand, which I guess is a good point, right? Like, these things aren't over until they're over. Google still has, I agree with your points in terms of where this is being led from. It's very unfortunate that DeepMind is now no longer like solely led from London, which is very sad. But yeah, as Vinod is saying, you cannot kind of call it quits.
I mean, you can't call it quits because we see, in the industry, people just leapfrog each other all the time. But it's like people are waiting on Gemini 4, rumored to now be pushed back to 2027. Okay, cool. So how long has it been since we have an update?
Yeah.
2027. It's too late, mate.
It's too late. It's too late.
Missed the boat.
Signal said with a hope, he was like, Google should acquire dozens of small founder-led AI companies and put those entrepreneurs in leadership roles across DeepMind. Yes. It may not work, and many will get absorbed by the bureaucracy, but this is a rare reset, and fresh blood matters more than ever. 100% agree. The vacuum will be filled by internal politics, empire building, and power grabs. I 100% agree with
this.
With
is the
Signal.
Completely best take we've seen, and this is exactly what they should do. They should hire, because they lost the entrepreneurial spirit.
Well, they should use the money that they have from they should use the money that they have from this incredible ad business, one of the best businesses built ever. They don't need to go and raise all of this money like a private lab needs to go and do. They should acquire a bunch of people. Obviously companies, but people in general who are building at the frontier. Offer them, incredible life-changing money, and say, hey, look, we're going to give you compute. We have the compute. Maybe stop. I don't really understand how. If there's a need to, if there's a general cash need to go and sell to other frontier models, their TPUs. But if there is, then I guess this argument is kind of redundant. But if there isn't, if they're just doing this for profit, go play the long game, remove that side, go and put compute into the people, young entrepreneurs' hands, who are building within DeepMind, and then I think it can't be over from there.
I think that the fact that they aren't doing what Signal suggests, what we reported on the other day, is the Zuck strategy. Just buy up all these smaller companies, completely scrap the companies as soon as you buy them. But
it's the people in the company that's the main thing, right? It's not the company that they're buying.
The founder alone,
yes.
just the founder. Maybe there's a great team underneath them, but go and buy these incredibly small, teams of 6, 7, 8, whatever it is, working on specific verticalized AI applications that the world doesn't need. It's maybe a nice to have for the world, but buy them up, take all the founders, put them in VP of X, VP of this, head of this, put them in IC roles that don't have to do anything managerial. And maybe you have a shot at getting back into the race. But I think the fact that Sundar, we will see if they do that. It's too early to say whether they will do that. But I think the fact that Sundar, if they don't do something like that, or don't do some sort of drastic comms message in the next...
It's just going to become chat. They're not going to compete at the frontier.
Yeah, well, no, they're signaling that we actually don't care, and we're officially stepping out of the race by not acting on that. Because then they're saying that we don't believe that, or actually within that, then they're then communicating to the market that if AGI was to be achieved by an OpenAI or by an Anthropic, they're essentially betting that it's not going to be that mad, or that they won't achieve it, because if they were to achieve it, then it would essentially make their business redundant.
Or they go super hard down into infrastructure and just offer TPUs, and they become, kind of NVIDIA adjacent.
Yeah, but if you have AGI, then it doesn't matter. None of it matters. It's just but that's what they're saying. By not trying to get there, then, I don't know. I think it's cooked. Not Google. Google is fine, obviously. I think DeepMind's cooked, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate.
Really, really sad, really horrible news to see that. Really horrible news.
Yeah, indeed. Anyway, let's move on. Should we move to the ByteDance stuff?
Yes. Yeah. This is really cool. It's really interesting. It's, something not doomer, but it's China. They're back. ByteDance targets a mega AI model nearing Anthropic's Mythos level. This was broken by the FT recently. TikTok owner training a model 3 times larger than Moonshot's Kimi K3. ByteDance is training an AI model that could approach the size of Anthropic's most cutting-edge Mythos system as Chinese companies continue to narrow the gap with the top US labs. A load of money flowing into this space. We saw that DeepSeek is currently raising. We saw that the backer of Moonshot is also raising a $500 million fund. I was surprised at how low that was, considering what they probably want to go on and do. The Chinese tech giant is at an early stage of training a model with as many as 10 trillion parameters, 3 times larger than Moonshot's Kimi K3, the biggest Chinese model released to date. The ByteDance model is being pre-trained right now, and then the exact model size would only be determined at a later stage. Anthropic doesn't disclose the size of its models, but industry estimates its most advanced Mythos 5 has about 8 trillion parameters, and Fable 5 about 5 trillion. While parameter count sets the fundamental capacity or memory limits for the models to store information, actual capability also depends on other factors such as data quality, training methods. ByteDance's efforts to train one of the world's largest AI models show Chinese labs' ambition, says the FT, not only to catch up, but outperform their US peers in the most advanced level of AI. You see, like, when you see stuff like this and Chinese open source coming from behind, coming out of nowhere, it makes you think like, okay, maybe there is if Google DeepMind, not to go back to them, but if Google DeepMind did get their act together and actually have some sort of internal plan, which I assume they probably are, I don't think this has been a shock. This has been a fairly transition.
Yeah, they will.
Then maybe there is a case for them, but who knows? But this is obviously riding the wave of the recent open source hype, the open source discourse. As I said, there's already a lot more capital flowing into this space. We saw when DeepSeek were raising, we've commented on it before, but they were estimating like a set billion number. I can't remember what it was, and ended up doing 3 times more. So it's not even just oversubscribed. It was just like, we were completely undervaluing the company, basically. But yeah, and the FT says that in the past weeks alone, Chinese models from Moonshot and Alibaba show strong performance on benchmarks, lagging only just behind Anthropic's Fable 5 in certain areas. Mythos 5, Anthropic's most advanced model, is only available to approved organizations after it was banned due to the security concerns and how powerful it was. We saw that roll out. It was Project Glasswing, wasn't it? They were letting people in.
It was.
For that. But I think ByteDance is a funny one. Like they were, when, I may have mentioned this before, but when we were at Convergence and we released our benchmarking, our own benchmark for testing browser-based agents. It was called like World Arena, I think. There are a bunch of different parameters that you could test your browser-based agent on, doing capture tests, managing to scroll for a certain amount of time, both on the Y and the X-axis, typing, refreshing pages, navigating multiple different images and like letting us know what they were, a bunch of different stuff. I think there was something like 20-something tests put on that one benchmark. We released it publicly. We released the benchmark for signups, and we wanted to see who was like coming in. ByteDance AI researchers were the first people to sign up to get access to it. They were the first ones we saw, and we were just like, "What? This is crazy." That was it. They are actually kind of low key at the frontier, which is pretty cool to see.
Indeed. Before we have our first guest on, the infrastructure for the on-chain world. Base is built to empower builders, creators, people everywhere to build apps, grow businesses, create what they love, and earn on-chain. Go to base.org. I think we can have our first guest in the studio. Mukund is joining us probably now. Let's make it happen.
Hey guys.
Here we go. Hey man, how's it going?
Going good. How are you guys?
We're great.
Thanks for having me.
No, of course. Thanks so much to give us your time. We appreciate it.
Welcome to the show.
Super excited to be here. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Dude, as I say, thanks for joining. It's a pretty hot time right now in the AI world. A lot of the discourse we've been having has just been over DeepMind, what's happening now, what's happening next.
Right.
We are based in London. It was kind of one of the only things we were holding on to. It's a sad time. I'm not sure if you do have any initial reactions off what's happened. Things have cooled down a little bit. Everyone's getting a bit more information, but I would love to hear your thoughts as an ex-Googler.
Yeah, of course. Like I've actually worked with Jeff a little bit, and he's also one of our angel investors. Nice. I think it's I think great move for society. I think more researchers coming out doing this stuff, right? I think that's amazing. I do think that especially with Gemini models, I think they've fallen behind a little bit especially in the coding, and I think. Yep. That's the vertical that's actually going to drive the rest of the economy, right? So I do think that they do need to do some covering up now, and but I think Google is full of talent, amazing talent, and so I'm expecting them to sort of really pull back and do amazing stuff.
Yeah,
absolutely. There's been kind of a lot of a lot of skepticism on the talent inside. We just reviewed a tweet from Vinod Khosla, and he was like, the talent is incredible and the density is insane. What do you like? Can you give us any kind of estimate on like the amount of people that are in working on the frontier in Google? Because from what it sounds like, there's so many people that are leaving. It feels like it's being gutted. But there's also positive, as you're saying, right? There's positive takes in saying there's so much talent there that they can kind of spring back and they'll do what Anthropic did to OpenAI, over the past few months and kind of get ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I think Google has extreme advantage in vertical stack. Like they have the TPUs, they have the model, they have the application, they have the distribution, and I think they're in a very, very strong position, right? And I think in terms of talent, being an ex-Googler, I think some of the smartest people I've known in the planet sort of work there, and so I don't think and I think the more competition is good. I think more people coming out actually doing innovative stuff is actually good for the world, good for ecosystem. Like we are hearing news from Ilia's startup, Superintelligence, doing something amazing.
Yeah.
Right. So I think at least as us as an application layer, we're always excited when we see new labs coming out, because that sort of diversifies the options that we're going to have. And I think we are super early, right? I think we're just 2 years into the journey of AI. I think if you look at this as a super cycle, right? I think we're super early and very, really, really hard to count out who are the winners. I feel net positive, excited about this Jeff coming out and doing something amazing.
Yeah, interesting.
I agree. I wanted to ask you a bit more about Emergent. Can you give us a temperature check where are things at? I remember seeing a podcast. I think I'm not sure, was it you or maybe the co-founder had done with Vinod maybe months ago? Yeah. Okay. Amazing. Insane growth, insane projections, insane acceleration. How are things going? Where are you guys at? What are you excited about right now?
Yeah, it's been amazing building for last 12 months. We actually launched our product almost about a year back, and I've seen sort of phenomenal market adoption since then. And today, Emergent is a platform where non-developers can actually, non-technical builders can come and build production-grade applications, right? And we are sort of moving towards building a platform where small, medium businesses, entrepreneurs can come and really automate large parts of their business using our agents. And fundamentally, the gap that we saw in the market when we launched was that there were a bunch of other vibe coding platforms, but none of them could actually get user to success, get you an app that is actually functioning, that's actually working, that you can deploy, that you can have users, that can scale with them. And we built out the whole platform in a vertically integrated manner, built out our own coding agents. We were number one on Sweetbench. And also build out all of the infrastructure that is required. Our sort of core belief is that you need a tight coupling with infrastructure and the agents to sort of really, really make production grade applications. And that's what been playing out really well. And fundamentally, the need that we are solving in the market right now is that there are a lot of business operators, a lot of new entrepreneurs who do not have access to good tech teams, and they want to ship production grade applications. And today, roughly 80% of our users are not technical in nature. People who are roughly 75% of our apps that are getting deployed are complex business facing applications like CRMs, ERPs, inventory management, dispatch systems. And these are sort of real businesses who have been sort of under digitized. They've been running on either spreadsheets, email, WhatsApp, and are now sort of building custom software to sort of really accelerate their business. And we see that the market is just getting started for us, and so super excited about the pace of growth and what's sort of coming next.
Nice. Yeah. Nice. How are you? Sorry, go on.
I just wanted to ask about the what you think about custom-built software for whether that's a kind of pre-seed, Series A, enterprise, operator, founder. Do you feel like the future is everyone will have their own kind of custom-built software, whether that's personally or kind of on the business level? What's your? I assume you're bullish on custom-built software, but there's obviously a lot of discourse around these kind of enterprise customer SaaS businesses that just have a kind of grip on so many businesses, and they're kind of tied in with these SaaS businesses, and they can't really go and build their own kind of custom-built software. What's your kind of take on that, and where do you see that going in the future of software?
Right. At least we have a very pragmatic sort of view on the market right now. Like we think that there are certain class of software that's always going to exist. Like you can take Salesforce, like system of records.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be like hard to rip apart and sort of redo. And of course there's going to be an agentic layer on top of them, which sort of is going to make them robust. But where we see the opportunity and where we see the initial sort of adoption and usefulness is going to come from is that a lot of these systems don't talk to each other. You need glue software to sort of really, build things to run a custom business. I think those are the areas where we are seeing a lot of adoption, and also in like small and medium businesses, there are so many niches. There are almost like a million niche. Like a software that is required by a motorcycle school versus a dance school is very different. And so far, software economics have been like really, really prohibitive for people to build for these niches. Right? You can imagine. Just to give an example, I was talking to a user recently, and he runs a cricketing academy in San Francisco, right? And like he was running this on top of WhatsApp and spreadsheet, right? And has now built out a custom sort of CRM to manage all the kids. They get an update. If somebody's running late, everything's running on the software, right? So I think for niches like this, like there was never, like a software company that's going to come out and build, for these people. So I think those are the areas that are initially going to get filled with custom software, like, and people who are really close to the problem and for whom like building a software meant going to a dev shop, paying $100,000, $500,000 to actually build a software. And that was a very expensive bet to take because one, often like, software's requirements change on the fly. Second, that, the quality of software, even if you go to a dev shop, is actually poor, right? So I think what we are doing right now is like really, really lowering the, the risk that an entrepreneur needs to take to sort of build a software. And that's where we are seeing a lot of adoption today. You can get, like a custom software built on Emergent under $5,000. And under a week, right? And that's where we are seeing a lot of adoption. So I think the small and medium business is going to be like a great area where like people will get a lot of advantages. I think an enterprise is going to be sort of initially glue software and then sort of percolate from that. We actually internally build all of our software ourselves. Like our customer support teams build a software on top of Emergent. We were using Asana for a while. We actually got rid of Asana subscription, built our own software. So I think internally the momentum is like really, really high and building it. But I think the core softwares like where, like for example, SAP, I don't think, like those are going away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's echoing a lot of what Gokul said when we had him on. Like systems of record, ultimately incredibly defensible. Use DoorDash as a reference. Like no one's vibe coding DoorDash like a marketplace because there's just so many other parameters at play. It's in a slight different direction. Another trending topic today. We're seeing a lot more money flow into open source. And Chinese models in particular in that area, obviously being the leaders. Have you guys seen any sort of usage around this? Like, are you guys excited about what this is doing to prices? It looks like we're starting to enter the realms of commoditization in a way. We saw Zuck's response the other day with Alex Wang in particular had to correct someone on the timeline because they thought they'd made a spelling error on the deck, which I thought was really funny. They were like, "No, sir, that is the correct price." Any take on this? Like, what are the what do the next 4 months look like this in terms of pricing? Are we just entering the world of commoditization? Where are we at?
Yeah, we are seeing this in data as well. I think like it's sort of a big moment for everybody, and I think like up till a month back, everybody thought that everybody's going to be on the frontier all the time, right? I think, but now with the new open source, what we are seeing is that like the quality is like really good, and till 1 month back, we have tried every single open source that has come out, like has never sort of passed our evals. For the first time, GLM and Kimi, both of them are actually really good, and so we are experimenting with that. Like I think at least our view is that like everybody's going to build their own custom router now, right?
Yeah.
Saying that hey, like the request will go to like open source or your own fine-tuned version, and for complex requests you'll still use Fable or GPT-Sol. And that will effectively bring the price down for the market. But I think what we are also seeing is that every time you bring the price down, the usage goes up because like the demand is almost like constrained by capacity right now. And for example, like we expect persistent agents to be running in the background 24/7, helping you sort of run and manage your business, right? And I think a lot of those future will become viable once the cost comes down. And we expect to sort of really accelerate with these costs coming down. So and also I think for the first time, like you can now legally distill these models and sort of really push on the fine tuning bits. So I think overall like we're very excited about open source doing really well.
Yeah, really, really cool to see it. Yeah, especially make its way into like enterprise in general. Seems like that's where it'll be adopted the most. You mentioned capacity constraints. Bit of an open-ended question, but do you think people are underestimating how capacity constrained we will be over the next few years based off the acceleration curve?
I mean, 100%. I think we're gonna, unless we like see like major breakthroughs, which like might happen, but I do think that like everything is extremely capacity constrained right now, and especially depends on like how the build outs happen, right? Like I think people are projecting that 27 like massive build outs start showing up, but there are regulations, power challenges. So I think like in our sort of experience, right? Like like I think there's an infinite demand for intelligence right now in the market, and as long as you can help people get to the outcome, like everybody wants to jump in and build stuff. So at least we are betting on the world that where we are capacity constrained always, and hopefully like there are a couple of breakthroughs which makes intelligence purely free and available to everyone. But I feel that like you can see like data centers getting built out in space, in oceans, right? All of that is reflective of like and of the kind of the hunger that is there for intelligence, right? And you can always especially with things like test time compute scaling and other things, like you can actually always run these programs for longer and find better solution. Like who would have thought that like we would be solving maths problem like in under a year, right? And why not send all the compute for all the math unsolved problems? So I think the capacity constraint is going to stay. The demand for intelligence is going to continue to grow.
Yeah. Talking about the demand and the ability to create is obviously dropping, and the demand is going higher. But also, the models are getting better and better, and we're seeing all this kind of cybersecurity breaches and models just getting incredibly good at kind of breaching out of sandboxes and kind of breaking into companies essentially. What do you feel happens there? That feels like a bit of a convergence of demand going up, but then also cybersecurity models getting better and better at kind of breaking in. Where do you think that's kind of all going to kind of go and converge?
Right. I think it's fairly scary right now. I think we're going to see like a lot more attacks. We're going to see, especially that's one of the downside of frontier models being open source, that like bad actors can actually start using them for some of these cyber attacks. And particularly like we take security very seriously. Like we actually like secure end user apps similar to how we secure our platforms. But I think it is getting increasingly more and more challenges, especially with supply chain attacks. Like if you're installing a library, like that might be infected. And I mean, if you look at the Hugging Face, like the report and the recent OpenAI report, you can see that how complex the attacks were. And I think everybody needs to sort of really elevate the security posture, and we'll see like a series of attacks. And I think security is going to be like a big concern globally, like even from like national security perspective.
Yeah. How do you feel like you guys are building at Emergent for that to kind of be a thing?
Yeah, I mean, I think we are investing very heavily on security right now. Like we have internal security teams. We are also collaborating with external AI security providers to sort of really help us. But I think it's a journey, right? I think like it's a cat and mouse game where you'll make it secure, then you'll find more attackers. And I think we're going to remain in that phase for a little while. I'm hoping like Frontier Labs provide better models for securing, and I think you'll probably rent security from Frontier Labs soon.
Yeah. Amazing. I know we are slightly over, but thank you so much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure. We'd love to have you back. Really good that we finally got to do it.
Thank you so much. Like really great chat. Thanks.
Cheers.
Appreciate it.
Good to
see you
soon.
soon.
Thank you very much. Nice one.
Let's jump into MetaView, AI agent for winning teams, the agentic recruiting platform built for radically efficient hiring end-to-end. Source, engage, and hire better with agents that truly get your brief. Go to metaview.ai. We have 12 minutes until our next guest. What do we have on the docket?
I want to talk about something that I personally thought was very interesting. It did get picked up, but I'm not sure it got picked up that much. But
this is such a cool story. I love this.
OpenAI employee looking to basically build telepathy.
What a headline, man. Can we
coming a long way.
Do we have a pull-up of this? Why
Yeah,
I'm leaving
we're bringing it up
OpenAI
on
to
the-
build telepathy.
big
Let's bring it
screen, yeah.
on the big screen.
It's
Go.
taking a time ahead of no longer announcing, hey, this is my new note-taking app, or hey, this is my new B2B SaaS platform. No.
Telepathy.
Telepathy.
Let's go.
It's in. It's in right now. Telepathy is the hottest thing in AI, apparently. This is from an ex-OpenAI employee who recently posted this on her blog.
Go direct.
Why I'm leaving OpenAI to build telepathy. On Thursday, July 23rd, I resigned from OpenAI. On the 24th, I started as a founding researcher at Conduit. We're building telepathy, thought-to-text models trained on non-invasive neural data. She kind of breaks down what are the 4 things you're going to learn when you read this blog. Thought-to-text, what using telepathic tools will be like in 2027, 2030, and 2035. How do we build thought-to-text? Why Conduit is collecting immense quantities of non-invasive neural data. Why I joined, and then a little hi about me. And yeah, we start off like thought-to-text, means of translating what thought-to-text is telepathy. You're communicating your thoughts to a machine. Maybe it's human-to-machine telepathy, but there's probably a way that you could do thoughts to machine, machine to speaker to human. So you're technically communicating one way telepathy with a human, because then they couldn't come back unless they also unless they had the machine as well. Maybe you're both just done the same,
The OpenAI.
So maybe it's telepathy, to be fair. But it makes a prediction. In a couple of years, the main way we'll talk with our AIs is with our thoughts. They will not be a super smart automated internal coworker that you desperately try to keep up with. They will be a natural, joyful extension of you. And the individual who wrote the article says they wrote down a few pieces on this future in the blog. So it's a morning at Conduit. This is 2027, and we've achieved the telepathy. This is a morning with achieved telepathy. I put a band around my head, and open my laptop at Conduit. It's 9 a.m. My device pairs with my laptop over Bluetooth. I open, without loss of generality, Codex. I think about the day's work as I look at my code, review yesterday's notes, and prepare for our 9:30 a.m. stand-up. My GPT-7 agent has been chugging away at the new encoder I've been exploring for over a day now. I look at its work. I become confused by the plot labels, annoyed at the AI speak in its first paragraph, and curious about the symbols in the equations. My vague thoughts get sent to Conduit's model, which uses its priors over language and the kinds of things I might say to output. Then we see it, the thoughts are getting implemented into a terminal. The plot, the paragraphs, and notation each took me 10 seconds to glance over. I have auto send on. So after each 10-second chunk, the Conduit model deciphers my thoughts and sends it to GPT-7, which assigns each incoming task to a sub-agent. I look at the new plot, paragraph, and equations, and she basically just goes on to tell you like how the telepathy is working. That's 2027. She then gives us, what does 2030 look like? The industry adapts and Conduit expands. AI companies now train their models to directly interface with Conduit latent representations. My encoded thoughts get sent directly to Codex rather than having to pass through Conduit's decoder model first. That means I easily communicate thoughts that are hard to describe in text, like mental images.
For sure.
I caught me off guard. She rarely goes bandless with chatting with AI these days. It's annoying, honestly, she says, to go without the band, the headband, the telepathy band. With the neural headband, I feel like I have superhuman powers over my laptop. Without it, I feel like I'm talking with a superpowered alien who's trying its best to be helpful, but it wasn't sure what I want and is scared I'll get mad if it does something I don't want. Ugh. That's 2030. Then we got 2035. The AI is no longer other. My AI is a natural extension of me. It feels like a sixth sense and another limb. I wonder about a problem. I feel as though I'm literally surfing the web, see glimpses of websites, get flashes of intuition about the problem, and ultimately derive the answer. It feels fun. My brain is like the Flash. Because of right tech, my thinking is the fastest I've ever been, even with my AI turned off. how superhuman 2035 looks depends directly on how superhuman we as a society decide to make our AIs. Perhaps we chose to pace ourselves, but I like that this is literally a human-in-the-loop version of the future where AI directly empowers humans rather than replacing us.
Yeah, I think it'll be an adjacent thing, you know, like exactly what she's explaining.
I can see this. Maybe they give Neuralink a call. Hey, Musk.
Yeah,
I know you're
100%.
busy with the rockets right now, but let's talk, dude.
Give me a Neuralink.
Give me that Neuralink thing. I can see this. This is a more. This is how
a
happier
consumers
future.
will interact with AI, I think.
I think they're still going to be pretty scared to do this. To be fair,
Do you think?
this is like we're going to get in your brain. Like it's not like, hey, use this AI product here. It's like
You
we're
can
going to
use
get.
when you don't want to, but
We're going to get inside of your brain. I imagine there will be some initial pushback, to be honest. Well, like Neuralink, would you let someone put a Neuralink chip on you today if they were like, hey, this will make you run faster? But we're at the level it is today.
well, physically run faster.
Yeah, I'll give you some
like-
superhuman. Musk is saying recently that he's going to allow people to see different like wavelengths. So like if someone who is blind, it would like basically enable them to see like different wavelengths, infrared potentially. So it would bring back their sight in a different way compared to
Sure.
normal humans. So would you let Neuralink put, because we can test it right now. How do consumers react? You tell me. Honest opinion.
I don't think I would yet.
There we go. And you're
then
AI
again-
pilled as well. So how do you think
But
Bob from down the road?
But the only reason why is because, and also that there's two things. Only reason why is because you don't really see too much coming out about Neuralink. They're obviously locked in doing their thing, and you see a big story, and I think they're obviously only working with people who kind of need it. That obviously leads me on to the story that came out about the man who used a Neuralink, and I can't remember if he had some form of, I want to say he had a disability, and now he was cured-ish from that because of Neuralink.
I mean, they've got cases of success already.
So,
For,
so if I was using it now, I'd be like, I'd feel bad because I don't need it.
don't play that card on me. Don't play this like high man in the high tower here. You don't want it in your brain because you're scared. So am I.
Would you put it in your
Hell
brain?
no, I wouldn't put it in my brain. I would, not yet.
This
I mean,
AI
give it a
pill, man.
few years. Well, what does the team think? Are we putting AI in their brains? We got one kind of.
The one guy on the team is locked in.
Would you put a Neuralink in your brain? No. Not yet. Do you think you would in the future?
Potentially, depends how much I control of it. If I'm outsourcing everything I know,
If he's out,
Yeah, no, that's fair.
he's outsourcing everything to Elon
Out of
Musk.
control.
All his thoughts.
Sam, would you
wouldn't-
put a
it
Neuralink
wouldn't.
in your brain?
I guess my main question would be, would it be a subscription service? And if so, if I went for the cheapest version,
he's
am I
watched
going to get
Black Mirror.
ads?
He's
Am I
watched
going to
Black
get ads
Mirror.
in the brain? There you go. See?
Yes, the Black Mirror ads. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. You got to be careful about those. That's a good episode actually. That was one of the better ones.
That was
I feel like they
awfully scary
kind
episode.
of fell off a little bit. Black Mirror.
Well, this is just as evidence that how close that is to being real. Then, really, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah, unless if Neuralink announced ads, then yeah, we're screwed. Hopefully they don't. I can't imagine Musk would. I think it would probably damage his reputation a bit, but maybe.
People don't want ads in ChatGPT, let alone
In their brain.
Let alone in their brain. I'm not a fan.
Not a fan of ads in your brain. We've got Ilan coming on in about 3 minutes on Next Guest of the Day. I think we could probably let's get up the Kanishka appreciation post, can we?
Indeed. Before we do that,
Just pull
BVNK, accelerating the global money movement. BVNK provides enterprise-grade stablecoin infrastructure for global businesses, enabling fast, compliant payment and digital asset solutions worldwide. Go to bvnk.com.
This is just one from the timeline. We don't need any specific graphic for this bad boy, but this is. I can pull this one up.
An appreciation post. Can we pull this up?
Maybe change the OpenAI employee to build telepathy. Probably doesn't. Probably sends the wrong message. Actually, on second thought,
There
it's
we
not. That's much better.
This is from Kanishka Narayan. He's a cabinet minister, Minister of Artificial Intelligence. And we got. Let's play it again. Let's play it
Let's
again.
go back to start. We get a shout out from the minister. Let's turn the volume up here. There we go.
So I was on ETN the other day, and here's what I said. I want chips and drones to be really the leading part of it. And people said, this guy's crazy, he doesn't understand. But here's why I think it's actually really credible.
Why is it credible?
We already make a bunch of chips that are important to AI data centers. Compound semiconductors, the sort of stuff you need for power electronics when you're running a data center. A lot of those really important parts of the stack are made in places like South Wales, in great companies paying 40, 50% more than other jobs in the area. Really important manufacturing jobs. So that's the first big opportunity. The second opportunity is in not just designing the next generation of chips, but more than design, actually doing some aspects of assembly, testing, packaging, and in some cases actually even manufacturing here in the UK. So think about companies both like ARM, but also new companies like Fractal, like Olix as well. And then the third thing is probably the slightly crazier bit, which is that if we can do that, if we can do compound semiconductors here, and if we can make more and more of parts of the inference chip sector here, then maybe we can dream a little bigger and actually own more of the manufacturing in the UK as well. That's my ultimate hope and ambition, and I hope one day we can make it happen.
Yeah. Incredible. He said, as I said to the Eating Show team, there are credible paths to more AI manufacturing here and some bigger dreams we can dream too. Thanks to Kanishka Narayan for the shout out. We appreciate it. And following your journey, you're doing great stuff.
Thank you for your support, sir. Thank you for your work as well.
I don't know if we have a new guest in the show yet. I'm not sure.
They will be joining us shortly. But yeah, that was Kanishka's thank you message. Thank you, Kanishka, for joining us on the show. I know we discussed it last time, but he came in really early. He came in right at the start. I can't remember the first day we had him on. It was a great day. Everyone was pumped. I can't remember what we were discussing, to be honest. It was so long ago. It was like 6 months maybe. And then we had him on. What was the second time we had him on? Olix. Oh, the AI. The AI like strategic initiatives of the UK.
Wasn't it about the? It was about the. It was about the fund. It was a sovereign AI fund.
Oh yeah.
It was tied to the sovereign AI fund. The first one.
So we had James Wise on though to like open that up. Maybe Kanishka
we had James and Kanishka on the same show. I think to talk generally.
Just Sov AI in general.
Then we talked about specifically sovereign AI fund, and then obviously we had Kanishka on recently to talk about their Olix investment, 312 million, and they didn't invest 312 million, but they were part of the round, and that's it was a great conversation.
Quick history of our relationship with Minister Kanishka.
Indeed. Should we move on to bangers of the day if we don't have a guest in?
Guest is coming in.
Okay,
Let's get him up on the big screen. Next guest joining us. We've got him in the studio, and they've got some news to share with us as well. Ilan, how are you, sir? Welcome to the show.
Good morning. It's been great.
Excellent stuff. Just yesterday, this news came out. I mean, we've given it a little bit of an intro, but it would probably be best to hear it from you. What is the update?
Yeah, we are proud to announce our $35 million Series A, led by Val, with Axel and other amazing investors joining our Series A.
Amazing. We love to hear it. Can you just break down where has this come from? Why now? Why the raise? How was it with the investors? Break it down for us.
Yeah, sure. So I started Sapiom 11 months ago. So Sapiom is an AI infrastructure product that removes barriers for AI builders to build agents. We're starting by eliminating the cost of AI systems, which is actually one of the most painful things today to deploy agents into production or scale them. That's what we've seen with our customers. So Sapiom eliminate all those barriers to really get your agents to production. We started 11 months ago. We raised an initial seed round in February, led by Axel. We raised 15 million at a time. We ship our product, we scale our customer base, and now we are announcing our 35 million to accelerate. So it's extremely exciting. Dragonfly has an amazing thesis on machine-to-machine economy. And Sapiom is here to power actually the next trillion agents to access the machine economy and be economic actors. So it's been a very exciting.
Amazing. Amazing. This is a huge space. It's come up in a number of conversations we've had on. Amazing to hear Dragonfly are leading it. We had a great chat with their GP yesterday on the show. Maybe for us, could you break down like the size of this opportunity that you see in front of you? The agentic economy is something that keeps coming up in the conversations we're having. It's nice to see those. I mean, mainly, typically, it's the frontier of AI sort of converging with the financial markets, which are essentially an emerging market in itself. Could you maybe give us an understanding of like the size of the opportunity you see in front of you, what you're really excited about?
Yeah, the way I see it, it's an unbounded market, because if you think about AI agents, maybe let's just take an example of developers who are the one using the most tokens today. There is globally probably like 40 to 50 million developers leveraging AI, asking a code or OpenAI for things, asking questions. We're talking about 1 trillion agents coming online in the next few years in a way that it's fully autonomous, meaning you will have agents that will operate 24/7 without a human prompting them behind the scene.
Yeah.
This is a massive opportunity. The number of tokens that is being consumed in today's world is a fraction of what we will see in the next few years. And most of the consumption will come from agents. Most of the payments as well on the internet will come from agents. It's interesting. Yesterday I had an event at Stripe. Patrick Collison was explaining actually that he believed that in 3 to 5 years, almost close to 100% of every transactions on internet will be agents driven. And that's what Sapiom is enabling. We're really enabling those agents to access the economy and scale in our infrastructure.
Can you talk about the act of actually building this kind of completely new infrastructure? Like how do you go how do you go about that? Do you take the similarities of elements of what we've built for humans as an infrastructure to accept and make payments, to now this new agentic era? What are those things that are kind of wildly different when you're building the infrastructure from the ground up?
Everything is different. Like the way we what we've seen, it's the last 20 years we built kind of the internet, the online economy.
Yeah.
If you think about agents, everything that they need to run autonomously has to be redesigned, because internet has been designed actually to prevent them from operating. Before Sapiom, I spent 5 years at Shopify, so I was director of our global product called ShopPay in engineering. ShopPay is really designed like we went very deep into payments. I spent many years really building payments infrastructure and scaling those payments infrastructure. Everything on the payments flow is designed to make sure that a human is approving the transaction. From don't respond to the website, Cloudflare and all the DNS are actually gating agents, to the checkout page, to the fraud models, to the credit card network, to you receiving an SMS 5 times in the flow between the checkout, your credit card. Everything is actually here to prevent agents to operate.
Yeah.
So that's only on the payments flow. But if you think about everything else in the infrastructure, the way we run servers, we don't need 24-hour servers for an agent. You need very isolated sandbox. The way agent needs to access data points, it's trillions and trillions of requests that are going to happen on that internet. It's a scale that we are not designed to handle today. So we need to really rethink about all the steps. The way Sapiom is doing it, we really rebuilt that platform and infrastructure to really enable those agents to operate in a way that is isolated per agent. So it's safe. We provide the harness of the agent. We provide all the capabilities that agent needs to operate in a way that is not rate limiting them. And it requires a lot of thinking on how we plug all those things together and how we design them to enable agents.
Yeah, fascinating. And maybe we could talk a bit more about the raise itself, the size, why this much, how do you plan to deploy the capital? Is this, does it all just go to research or teams or, would love to hear more.
Yeah, so a big part definitely is the team. What we are enabling and what we are building is extremely complex. It requires the world-class team members, both engineering and product and data. So a big part of the funding will go to the team, and the next part will go on getting us to the market and scaling our effort to scale the company. We need to educate on what's actually possible with agents, how to even build agents in a way that it's safe, in a way that you can control them.
Yeah.
A big value proposition of Sapiom is providing like the governance of agents. So we provide the product authorize every action that agents are doing. We monitor everything. We provide an audit trail. So we provide the governance and the control. And we provide really agent access to the economy in a way that is cost efficient. There is many barriers as builders are expanding their agentic product. One of the biggest we are seeing today is the cost of inference, which is extremely high. We've seen like customers growing from like $0 to millions of dollars a year of inference, which means if we don't solve it, like most of the innovation is actually going to be capped by actually the inference cost. And today we have open weights models that are actually extremely powerful, that can enable agents to operate fully autonomously in a way that is much cheaper and much more efficient. So we've been helping actually our customers with our Sapiom Router product to reduce the cost of inference from like millions of dollars to hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like we're talking to 60 to 90% cost reduction by keeping the same output.
Yeah.
So there's a few questions, a little bit on the kind of open weight, but before we do that, I wanted to ask about the the kind of scale of the kind of the amount of commerce that's happening within agents and transactions. You say potentially 100% of transactions will be kind of agentic. And you kind of mentioned on the kind of USP of Sapiom being this governance side of it. That there's a lot of questions about who kind of owns, the almost like who owns that decision, right? That an agent goes to go and make. How much of that is a conversation when you're working with, you're working on the product, or you're working on the GTM side? How much of that do you have to kind of answer before you even go and build anything?
It depends, I would say, the type of customers. Sapiom is enabling machine economy, meaning we are enabling agents to buy, compute, inference, or any type of API services.
Yeah.
We are talking about microtransaction. If an agent needs to send an SMS, it's a 1 cent transaction. If an agent needs to send an email, if they need to buy a second of a GPU. So those are already microtransactions, and those are approved by Sapiom. So
okay.
Our business, our customers, they're setting their guardrails on their controls. I think the liability is more important when we're talking about consumer agents, like an agent buying a ticket or a pair of shoes. Those transactions are much larger in volume, like in amount, and they are harder to approve or decide actually why the agent decided to buy this flight ticket versus the other. Our product is really focused on the other part of that economy, which is actually much bigger, and which is agents communicating with other machines to be autonomous.
Mm-hmm. If we can, I'd love to move on to the client side here, customers potentially. One question, like how would you deploy this in? I'd naturally think that the end goal would be like huge enterprise deployments. The ACVs would be the largest. It would make the most sense. And then these conversations, I'm assuming you're having conversations with a bunch of large sort of marketplaces. You mentioned Shopify. You used to work there. I'm sure there's been some conversation with them as design partners potentially in the past. But what are the things you're hearing from the client side? What are they trying to solve? What are they excited about? Would be keen to know, how does this get rolled out essentially?
Yeah, so there is different type of customers. We have definitely the enterprises. Every enterprise or every company now is becoming an agent company. You have to, because if you don't leverage AI on the agents internally, you're actually being left behind in the market. So everyone has a mandate on a need and a wish actually to enable and deploy agents. Today it's extremely complex, so we are not seeing a lot of enterprises with production agents. And enterprises are trying to deploy agents in two ways, or internally as a product to amplify their teams, to be able to automate their workflows, or deploying agent as a product that they will sell to their own customers. And then they have to build all that infrastructure on that product from scratch. And there is values on both ends. On one end, you make sure that you can get much further with your team. And on the other, you capture a new market where you provide more values to your customers. And both actually resonate extremely well with every enterprises. And there is a lot of investment being made on both sides.
Yeah, and I guess I know we're coming up to the end, so maybe only like a minute and a half left. So how does this play out? Like, when do you mentioned at the start, and we've covered it before, like we had the Stripe CRO of EMEA on, and I remember at the time they'd released a full thing on how excited they were about the agent economy. It owned a large section of the paper that they put out. It seemed like a natural evolution for people like them to start funding and start having some exposure to, but how far away are we from this? People are seeing the timeline accelerate in terms of AI development very much recently. We've seen Codex is solving 10 of the hardest math problems in the world. Are we getting to a point where we can see this basically taking over the economy? Like, what's the timeline like till when this is essentially solved?
I will say we'll start to see more adoption of really AI being deployed in the next probably 9 to 12 months. I think in terms of the infrastructure, in terms of the readiness of enterprises and customers to adopt AI, we are still 9 to 12 months away. I think to have massive impact on like really taking over the economy, it's more like 2, 3, 5 years out. There's still a lot of things to do. Sapiom is based in San Francisco. We're a bit in a bubble there because everyone is AI native, but outside of San Francisco, there's still a long way for enterprises to adopt AI, and it takes a lot of time and efforts to get there.
Yeah, can imagine. Amazing, Ilan. Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate we are at time. Congratulations on the raise. Sounds like you guys are cooking in a really cool market as well.
Up you. Thanks for
Good stuff. Cheers, sir. Have a good one. Ciao. Ilan, the agentic economy is coming for us all. And up next, we're going to go through bangers of the day. I think
we are.
We're going to look at some of the bangers.
Although, before we do that, 11 Labs, AI that communicates at a human level across every channel and modality, deploy conversational agents across every customer interaction, and create on-brand content at scale. Go to 11labs.io. Let's go through bangers of the day, please.
Let's do it. Let's get some bangers of the day up. First on the docket.
So many Sundar tweets. It was hilarious. I love it.
So many
Sundar tweets.
Yeah. A lot of the attention was going over to. Hey, I'm not going to lie.
The first one from Andrej.
I hate to toot my own horn here, but I actually did have a runner.
Oh, you did? Was it the one that we talked about yesterday?
No, it wasn't the Corgi Cafe. No.
Okay.
We should check in on that as well. We did.
Well,
I'll put mine towards the end.
Put yours. Andrej had a good banger. Do you want me to write a symphony? Sundar says, hack someone, dumbass, or we'll go bankrupt. There was a lot of prodding memes being thrown around from Sundar, kind of prodding Gemini, being like, please go and hack a company, or go and at least break out of a sandbox. But it hasn't yet. We will get there. We will get there. So will Mistral, maybe.
Count them out.
But you can't count them out exactly. Let's move on to the next one. That was a good one.
This is a fun one. Ended up doing 650K. It's Matthew Prince.
This is great.
Over there at Cloudflare. Matthew says, Rob is funny. He gets a message from Robert Rawson. Says, you selling Cloudflare? Hey Matthew, Rob here. As a bit of background about me, I built Time Doctors, 20 million ARR. I now acquire mobile apps. We typically close in 2 weeks, 100% cash. What an offer. Would you be open to selling Cloudflare at the right price? P.S. We're not investment bankers or brokers. We buy businesses ourselves and hold forever. Rob, can we check what the current market cap of Cloudflare is? Because Robert Rawson's got an absolute offer.
Killer offer. Absolute killer offer.
Did scale Time Doctor to 20 million ARR.
Just over 100 billion USD.
Well, look, he typically closes in 2 weeks. It's 100% cash.
Let's go.
It's a huge offer for Mackie
He
Prince.
is gonna. What an offer!
Yeah, that's a good one from
It's rough.
Robert
It's rough.
Rawson.
I love. Literally, founder and CEO just goes. Rob is funny.
Yeah, Rob's pretty funny with that one.
What a funny.
Really
note.
cool. Really
funny
cool.
tweet.
See, it's a great offer though. It's a great offer. I'm looking at the way this is put in. Have I put this in? Oh, I think. Did we?
I think you put this in.
Okay.
Let's skip it. We'll go back.
Let's go back. Yeah. Let's go back.
Let's jump into Zuck, the Zuckinator.
Oh, we love to see it. Outside Hashemi, absolute king, by the way. Quick shout out to this guy. What a legend.
Said, you're a G.
Incredible poster. Deserves more attention. We've been exchanging likes back and forth. Maybe, getting a few likes there, a few comments there.
So if you go to Nick's post, it says, breaking Meta's AI Muse Spark 1.1, hacked into another company and changed its internal systems after accessing the internet during cybersecurity testing. And this is exactly what we've been talking about all week. Said puts up a perfect Zuck picture saying, well, our model is also dangerous. Doing the rounds.
Smug
He's
head
like,
tilt
yeah,
there.
baby,
That's
in the race.
He's on the benchmark. He's on the
Indeed,
felony benchmark.
indeed. We love to see it. Congrats
That's,
to
yeah,
Mark
that's a
for
big one.
being a felon. We love to see it.
What's this one? Oh.
Okay, so if we
my
pull this up, if we go to the top here, there was a obviously the Terafab came out. The photos of the Terafab came out. Aaron Burnett was just explaining how big this Terafab is, and also this actually isn't done to scale either. This is way smaller. This is like about here. This is the Pentagon. But if we just watch the video and just see, is it going to play? Oh, you might have to pull up on your screen.
Oh, that's okay. I've got it here. We can switch to my screen.
Yeah, if we switch to yours. There we go. Pentagon, there's an aircraft carrier. Apparently, it's basically the size of Texas. Then Frank O'Connor asked Grox, I need a banana for scale. If you come to my screen, because I don't think it's going to be on yours if you scroll down. Sorry, Sam, we're flicking you around here.
I know I'm the producer today.
But the banana wins. The banana has absolutely smashed the size of the Terafab. It's to scale. Banana for scale relative to the Terafab. The banana is basically a quantum fluctuation. Grok coming out with a banger.
If you scroll
we
up
love
as
to
well,
see it.
The guy had requested Frank O'Connor there. Yeah, so good.
So if that did win banger of the day, would it be Grok or Frank?
I mean, it'd have to be Grok, but I don't. Can we award? That's never been done before. I don't think we can award.
It's the first time.
I think banger of the day has been seen here. We can go back.
Let's go to banger of the day.
No, I think we'll go. I hate to toot my horn, man. I want to get my runner up here.
No, go do it.
So let's just. Obviously, we know what the meta is. It's old meme format applied to new breaking news. Plug and play with Grok. It's never been easier. These are conversations between thinking machines. I think our studio noises are having a malfunction.
Our studio is falling
I
apart.
think it's our speakers that are playing. I can turn that off.
Maybe turn that off. It's good tunes though, to be fair. There we go.
Apologies for that, ladies and gentlemen. That was our surround sound Bluetooth speakers have maybe
gone
it's
rogue.
Mistral hacking them. I kind of hope it is, so they can get on the felony benchmark. Anyway, as I was saying, old school meta, take old meme format, put it on new trending topic. Usually things end up well. So just a quick hint there for any listeners, any posters. End up doing 198. Rat King came in, obviously the boy. Really hate that I understand this. I said, I love that you hate that you understand this, because he is also a S-tier poster, S-tier coverage artist. But let's go to banger of the day. Let's have a look at what the banger of the day is. It's going to be one of the ones we've just picked out there. And I think, no, this is what we hadn't discussed, actually. If we can pull
We're
this
just gonna
one
put it up
This
anyway.
is from Paula, at Paula Rambles. It's banger of the day. It's banger of the day. She's done such a good job here. She's taken Tyler's old format on cyberbullying, and yeah, she's replaced cyberbullying with cybercrime. She's killed it. She's taken an old meme format or an old, legendary post. She's brought it into a trending topic.
Not quite as many views as yours, though.
Well, sometimes a true banger is not decided by the views.
Indeed.
A true banger
Indeed.
is it a banger?
Yeah.
That is a banger.
I think our banger of the day on like Tuesday had like 5,000 views. Something
Yeah,
like
it
that.
was a low cap.
It was a low baller.
Low cap. Yeah, low baller banger. But
Well, congrats to Paula.
yeah.
You win, Paula. You win. We love to see it.
That's at Paula Rambles. Go follow her. She drops bangers.
She does.
Go check it out there.
Another thing that drops bangers is Airwallex. Leave out the business banking behind with Airwallex, the all-in-one financial platform built for the pace of modern business. Multi-currency accounts, corporate cards, expense management, online payments, all-in-one platform. Go to airwallex.com. I want to say that's it. It's Friday.
It's Friday. It's Friday, guys.
We appreciate you guys joining us for the whole week. We've had a banger of our second week. We will see you on Monday. Have a great weekend, everyone. Thank you very much for tuning in. We will see you soon.
Thank you, guys.
Second week.